Starting lineups are brought to you by Capital One. They have the 10 seed Florida State Seminole. Sydney Sherrill is in the 2 spot in the lineup. Her season batting average, on-base percentage, both leading the squad. For Florida State, it's all about manufacturing runs. The power game that they displayed here a couple of years ago, well, that has not followed them into this season. So they rely a lot on their on-base and then the speed. Number 2 in Power 5 in stolen bases. So that's their game plan coming in tonight against Rachel Garcia and the UCLA Bruins. Few have commanded the stage quite like Rachel. She is aiming to become just the 4th player in history to win a couple of national championship games in the circle. Not as much usage this year, had an early season injury, so she is fresh and ready to roll.
She is fresh and ready to roll. Look at those 162 strikeouts to just 22 walks. And Garcia can paint the corners. It's a drop ball that is just explosive. She'll throw a screwball, but look at, even if you try to make adjustments and move in on the plate, she can still run it underneath your hands. A rise ball that explodes up toward the top of the zone. Garcia hits all 4 quadrants, mixed speeds very well.
And she may need more usage this week. For more on that, here's Holly Rowe.
Well, kind of some stunning news coming out of UCLA on Tuesday when they released a statement that their backup pitcher, their second pitcher, Megan Faremo, did not make the trip with the team, that she would stay back in LA and see a hand specialist with an injury. And guys, this is a big deal because when Rachel Garcia struggled in Game 1 in Super Regionals, Megan Faremo came in against Virginia Tech and was fantastic. She got that win in Game 2 to force a Game 3 where Rachel Garcia came back and pitched well. So what I would expect, we have seen Florida State do this before against Rachel Garcia, is make her work, try to get her tired, take a lot of pitches, make her work deep into counts. And that is something that Rachel Garcia, she's gonna have to be efficient to try to get out of this game. The only pitcher that really would come in behind her right now is Holly Azevedo.
Yeah, that was a big blow for the Bruins. Not sure if Faremo will be available at all. The good news, however, is that Bubba is back. Their other Olympian out in center field, who's missed most of the second half of the season due to injury, has returned to the lineup just last week and making her second start since her return. She's their rock, their anchor out in center.
She's only had 1 at-bat that came last weekend in Super Regionals. She walked. Kelly Inouye Perez has said that they wanted to wait until she was 100% healthy, not just for this team, but because she's going to be playing in the Olympics in Tokyo. She did not want to injure her for what they're going to do in competing in July. So her being back in this lineup, a huge leader on this Bruin team.
They will both head almost immediately to training camp at the conclusion of the Women's College World Series. They would love to take another championship trophy with them. Kelly Inouye Perez, 15th season as the head coach, but she played and starred there on their 3-peat national championship teams in the late 80s, early 90s. Jumped right in as an assistant coach. She has been around the Westwood campus for a long, long time. Has won 2 of their 12 NCAA titles in 2010 and then 2019. 2-seed Bruins, led by Garcia, underway for our final first-round game here in Oklahoma City. Kaylee Mudge has emerged as the leadoff hitter the last month or so. It was a spot that was in flux most of the season, and Mudge finally grabbed it and made it her own. Fouls off the rise.
Lonnie Alameda not afraid to make a change later in the season. Kaylee Mudge only having 14 starts on the year, and those coming in this last month. In fact, she hadn't started since February. But they needed someone to spark plug, to be at the top of this lineup, and she's gone with Mudge. It's worked so far.
The redshirt freshman. We mentioned the 5 seniors in the lineup. They have gotten a big boost from their freshman class. There are 3 of those in the lineup today, along with the sophomore pitcher, Catherine Sandercock. Although she struggled in an outing in the Super, she rallied, did Rachel Garcia, and was lights out in the clincher on Sunday. A 2-hit shutout with 13K, looking very much like her old self. But it was not the dominate them, mow them down, kick them out the door Bruins of yore. They had a close game in the regionals. They lost a game in the Supers. Had their hands full with a very good Virginia Tech team last weekend.
Well, as you mentioned, that there were those struggles for Rachel Garcia in the circle, but it was the defense as well. 5 errors in that loss to Virginia Tech. Not so typical of a defense behind Rachel Garcia that's usually pretty strong.
They did not look like the team we had seen all year long, the number 2 seed. But the point was, is they rebounded. They came back.
Yeah, absolutely. Resilient.
We got like 15 hours to figure it out, and they did.
2-2 to Mudge. Puts another one out of play. Florida State, they have had their struggles as well this year, but as their head coach Lonnie Alameda said, hey, we're still winning, so let adversity be your friend. Embrace it, fight your way through it. For the first time in 8 years, they are not champions of the ACC. Tremendous depth in the league this year with Clemson and Duke.
Yeah, Lonnie Alameda telling us it was just a month ago that we were still looking at each other trying to figure it out. Who are we? We're not winning. We're not, the leaders. We have the target on our back. The ACC is so much stronger than it's ever been. She's like, we had to find joy in the little things. What is good? What are we doing? You get a sacrifice bunt down, like we're high-fiving all around. You make contact, a good play on defense. That's what makes this team.
9th pitch of the at-bat, and it's a full count. Terrific from Kaylee Mudge. The 10-pitch at-bat. She's on first.
The dugout's erupting, and I say it's the small things. I mean, it's a walk, but it's working account. It's one of the best pitchers in the country is a leadoff batter, a freshman, only in her 15th start of the season, and a great at-bat.
Boy, and a quick counsel as Olympic gold medalist and UCLA national champion Lisa Fernandez comes out to talk with the defense. They've worked a lot this week in preparation, and so here we go with a Florida State attack that everything's on the table. Squeezes, running bunts, stolen bases, hits and runs.
Stirring the defense.
They'll do whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of the and runs, so they'll try to test those middle infielders, making sure they're covering bases.
Cheryl, perhaps the one bat that can beat you with one swing. She has had home run power in the past, not so much this year. And she's back on her home turf from just down the street, Moore, Oklahoma. Shined here at the World Series 3 years ago.
Florida State had a cool, fun players weekend, one of the tournaments they had at home, and they got to have jerseys that had like their nickname. They do it in Major League Baseball, and had anything they want on the back, and Sydney Sherrill picked Oklahoma, and she said, it's where I'm from, it's my home, but it's also where we need to be at the end of the season.
Garcia's got her in trouble here. Doesn't chase. One home run away from being top 5 in home runs and runs batted in Florida State history. She's already the ACC's career leader in doubles. Runner goes, the throw down, got her. Garcia to Perez, and Mudge is erased.
This is what Florida State will do. They will threaten in every possible way. 107 stolen bases, and just a perfect throw with as far as the quick release, the tag from Bree Perez. Even though it's high, she's still able to get Mudge out by a good foot.
The strikeout of Sherrill.
Pitch
2 down.
Yeah, on the outside corner, just painting that location. Didn't get it against Mudge, but brings it back in an inch or two and picks up the strikeout looking against Sherrill.
We all just watched Montana Fouts with a 16 strikeout performance. Are you guys aware of what's happening around you? Does Garcia know the show that Montana just put on and now wants to follow that up with a little something of her own? Are you locked in?
I don't think she knows the number. I don't think Garcia's paying attention to that. She probably just knows she's pitching the heck out of the ball. And they're so familiar with Arizona's offense. So yeah. I'm sure Garcia, UCLA, knowing the team that they were playing and the fact that there was only the 2 hits.
Winner of this one will play Alabama tomorrow night. And the winner of that one is into the semifinals on Sunday. Harding, the right fielder.
Beth Garcia does such a great job. Alyssa Garcia, the catcher, no relation to Rachel Garcia, but Garcia behind the plate does such a great job of framing up those strikes. It's how the strikeout to Sydney Sherrill previously, that last strike, I mean, you're stealing balls by being able to bring them back into the zone. It's an art.
And it's not just her glove, it's her body. So it's the nuance of she moves her body away while her glove goes towards, so it gives the perception to the umpire that the pitch is on the plate, on the dish.
It's an art. And we talk about catchers so much for what Garcia did, throwing out runners, how strong is their arm, what's their pop time, but when you can steal strikes, to me, that is #1.
Just a redshirt freshman out of Chula Vista, California. Harding gets a hold of one out to center field, and Bubba Nichols with her first touch. Side retired. UCLA picking up the bats when we come back. The Capital One starting lineup for the Bruins of UCLA, repping the Pac-12 where they won the regular season once again this year. You know about Nichols and Garcia in that lineup. Say hello to Maya Brady, hit a couple of home runs, drove in 4 in the Super Regionals. Mom was a stud softball player at Fresno State. You may have heard of her Uncle Tom in the NFL. We had a great family of athletes throughout the Brady household. They will face Catherine Sandercock out in the circle, about to make her 22nd start. Has really elevated her game, the sophomore out of McLean, Virginia.
She'll live on the edges. She'll go up and out to left-handed batters. You'll even see low and away to the righties, hitting all the different quadrants. You look at the drop ball and the misses that she gets down in the zone. She's not afraid to get in the kitchen and go inside, and then up in the zone with the rise ball. Again, the miss you saw with the drop, you see it with the rise. She can go all over, but she likes to live on those edges, up, down, left, and right.
The 12-time national champs making their 30th World Series appearance in 39 years. 24-6 on opening day at the World Series. And for Bubba Nichols, she had one at-bat in the Supers. It was her first since March 21st. She was out with the injury.
Huge at-bat for Bubba Nichols. We've yet to see her put the ball in play. Since coming back from that injury, she had the walk last weekend. You could just feel the energy. She said she almost had a tear. She almost got emotional getting just to first base.
It's that one puzzle that was missing for so long, and now they feel complete again. Her teammates use words like presence and aura.
We sat down with her yesterday, and there's just a maturity. And a lot of that, you have to credit the fact that they're spending so much time with the Olympic team, with the women that are on that team, how much game knowledge they have. She takes that back to this Bruin team.
And she steps back into the leadoff spot where Aaliyah Jordan had been and was doing real well, but it speaks to just how good Bubba is in setting the tone. And Aaliyah, who has a little more pop in that 3 spot in the lineup if you've got runners on base ahead of her. Nichols, foul down the right field line.
Well, even when she was injured, she talked all the time about how she was doing as many one-arm drills as possible. She was standing in, taking reps against Rachel Garcia. None better than if you're going to look at a good rise ball, drop ball, curve ball, you want to stand in the bullpens for a Rachel Garcia. You feel like it's game-like.
Two-two to Bubba. Kick save, Kirk Walker. Kirk's in charge of the defense. Lisa Fernandez handles the pitchers. Former Major League coach Don Slott is the volunteer who works with the hitters. And then Kelly I does a little bit of everything and manages this team. Cheryl stays down on it. One down.
Cindy Cheryl talking about it took a late hop on her. She's reacting. You're kind of getting the nerves out anyway. Well, I thought it was actually going to pop up on her and sneak out in the outfield. She had great hands.
The ACC Defensive Player of the Year this season.
I think it's one of the toughest positions to play against lefties, because look at how close she's got to be in the grill of Brie Perez right here. Same with Bubba Nichols.
Well, remember, as a freshman, when they won the national championship her freshman year, she was at second base.
Yes.
Yeah, because Jessie Warren was at third base.
Pretty decent third baseman,
Yeah.
Jessie Warren.
Had a pretty good catch from what I recall. When they
Yeah, watch Cheryl creep. She'll start in and she'll slowly start to creep as she reads the hands of Brie Perez. I think it's a line drive right at you to the foul side, but I really believe that there's so many hard positions in softball, but third base, when you have the short game that softball is, these lefty hitters that can bunt in front of you, you got to be quick, they can slap it over your head, and then they can swing away and hit it right off any part of your body.
pitch. It's all about contact. If you're new to the Women's College World Series, Brie Perez, one of the best at it. She'd love to drive it either on the ground through the 5-6 hole, get a high hopper to bounce over Cheryl's head. You can drag it if the first baseman's deep.
Well, with 2 strikes, there's actually a little bit of reprieve for the corners, because they can play a little further back. Less than 2. They got to be up in there. I used to love just showing bunt, just to mess with infielders. If they tried to play me deep, I just wanted to remind them, try to come in.
Brie has added the power to her game this year, but not right there as Sandercock gets her 2 down.
And Sandercock has a couple different drop balls, and she will run it away from lefties. She'll cut it as well. And so you can see this pitch is just dropping down. Look at the way this ball is going to disappear. So it starts at your knees and just rolls off the table, disappears. Those two different drop balls for Sandercock have been so effective this year.
Aaliyah Jordan to second, and the scoop by Flaherty over to first. Got her scoreless through one at the Women's College World Series.
Well, anyone who knows anything about UCLA knows that the Bruin bubble is very tight. And Kelly Inouye-Perez recruited a young lady named Maya Brady, who is a freshman and an All-American on this team this year. But today they invited her uncle into the Bruin bubble. That's because it's Tom Brady. You might know him from his Super Bowls that he's won 7 of them. He did a pregame Zoom today with the Bruin team. They formally invited him into the bubble. And, you know, I actually asked Maya about this a few days ago before we even knew this was happening. I said, would he ever give your team a pep talk? And she was like, that would be awesome. I would love that, because he probably has a lot of good things to say. He's been in some big moments. And obviously they don't want him to overshadow this, but it's really cool that she can rely on that resource. And I'm just pretty impressed that he got invited into the Bruin bubble.
Yeah. I mean, that's not an easy invite to get.
Yeah, Michigan alum getting invited into that Bruin bubble.
Maya's out in right field. Mom Maureen, the All-American pitcher at Fresno. The sisters all older than Tom, as the story goes, and Holly is our resident expert. Did a great piece on the family. Goes back to Grandma and Grandpa. Maya told us the advice from Grandma was simple: never give up. Ball.
I just love when, like, we're seeing the game grow. We talk about it in so many ways, but when you have Division I softball players in Maureen Brady having daughters that are now Division I softball players playing here on this stage, it's pretty cool.
You can see the feature, by the way. It's on the SVP show post-game, coming up after our game. And Scott Van Pelt. Elizabeth Mason, one of the other heroes of their championship team a few years back. 2 home runs and 9 runs batted in at the World Series in 2018, including a home run off of Garcia, when the Seminoles were coming out of the losers bracket and beat UCLA twice in the Sunday semifinals to advance.
And Rachel Garcia, knowing what Lizzie Mason can do, the change in velocity comes up at her at 70 miles an hour, drops down the off speed in the 50s, and then comes right back underneath the hands at 70 miles an hour again.
Well, let's revisit that home run ball from Lizzie a couple of years back.
Well, this was her freshman year. It's a rise ball up in the zone, trying to get underneath her hands, and Lizzie just elevates it out of the yard. And you could just see the energy, the passion from Florida State on a mission in 2018.
Another strikeout for Garcia, her second. One down.
Well, as good as Rachel Garcia is, it's a battery. And right now, the Garcia, I'm going to call them sisters, they're not, but they are performing as a team right now. Pitch location, and watch the frame from Garcia. This pitch is a little bit off the plate. You see it there by an inch, but her body position and the sell to the umpire behind the plate is what gets that called for a strike. Look at Alyssa Garcia. Look where she gets her body. So it's around, and she catches it off her left side. So it literally presents that to the umpire as a strike, even though it's a ball.
Kelly Inouye-Perez raved about those two working with Lisa Fernandez. The commitment that you have to make to your pitches and the game plan. And what I thought was most interesting, Smitty, is pitchers have to have an opinion about how to put that game plan together.
You have to be committed to the pitch. And the same thing with catchers, too. I mean, they know, they can see the nuances, the feet of the batters. What adjustments are they making? And I'll never forget, I saw Garcia behind the dish her freshman year, right, in Clearwater at the St. Pete Elite Clearwater Invitational. And I was impressed from the first time I saw her catch, just the way she moved. And, you know, when I played over in Japan, that's what a lot of the Japanese catchers do. They move a lot behind the dish, and they really work the zone. So it's the deception of the way that they frame pitches is phenomenal. And that's exactly what I see with Alyssa Garcia.
That one just missed off the edge. We've seen some smoke today from our pitchers. I think all 4 games we've seen them hitting 70 and above. Davis slashes one out to right, base hit. First one of the night for the Noles.
And how about the adjustment for Davis? She gets the foot down, and it just takes a really little stride, so she's on time. And that's really the key with Garcia, and the way she moves the ball, mixes velocities, pitch on the outside half. She just gets the foot down early and then barrels it up.
With 2 strikes.
Yeah.
If that's less than 2 strikes, I don't know if she simplifies that much. With 2 strikes, she's trying to battle.
This is Devin Flaherty, who's hit in 12 of her last 13 games. There has been an uptick in their numbers in the last month or so. Flaherty's the one that has led the way with a .382 batting average over the second half of the season. They've tried to look at this postseason as a new season and a fresh start at the plate. Flaherty couldn't keep up, 0-2. Only struck out once in this NCAA tournament. Noles 5-0 through the regionals and the supers. Last week winning on the road at Florida, at LSU. Not an easy road trip. Flaherty, hot shot off of Vines, but they'll scoop it up. Brie Perez is there to step on the bag.
They're smiling because that had double play written all over it. It was smoked off the bat. Vines already turning the double play before she had the ball. Look how hard this ball is hit. Perfect positioning from Vines. Kind of ate her up. It's good that it kicked the right way for UCLA, bouncing up and off. Usually that goes over the shoulder. Instead of it goes to second base, they at least get one. But that was double play. They would have had her hosed second and first by feet.
Vines taking over at second base for Kinsley Washington, who moved over to first base. Danny Morgan. There's another base hit the opposite way. Runners on first and second.
Danny Morgan, you always talk about keeping your hands inside the ball. Look at the location. This is inside, and watch her inside out and inside pitch. This is off her hands. Pure muscle. I mean, literally that bat is like at her thighs. That's how much she kept her barrel close to her body to get herself a hit.
See if that's a bit of a slump buster for her. It struggled through the first 2 weekends of the tournament. Number 8 hitter is Anna Shellnut. Anna is due. 1 for her last 12, but again, on this stage a few years ago, she was terrific for Florida State. Despite the struggles at the plate, you know, there are times, you know, they talked about being present. Just figure out a way give something to the team, make something happen. Put some pressure on the defense.
And I like their two-strike at bats. I mean, we saw it from the leadoff in the first inning. Kaylee Mudge, I mean, just working that full count, finally getting a walk. We've seen the hits come with 2 strikes early in this inning. And they practiced that. Lonnie Alameda talked about getting after it at practice, and everything was situational. Okay, this isn't BP, you're 0-2 right now. It's the second inning, you're playing UCLA. What at-bats are you gonna have?
Garcia got up and under the hands to end the threat. Perinoles left on base as we go to the bottom of the second. Scoreless, UCLA FSU.
The NCAA Women's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Opening night here in Oklahoma City. James Madison, Oklahoma State and Alabama, the winners thus far. They'll be playing tomorrow night. The Crimson Tide will face the winner of this matchup, our final opening rounder of the day. Garcia, Wiz, and Brady coming up. Here is the 2-time National Player of the Year. Jocelyn Allo of Oklahoma got it this year. Terrific campaign for the Sooners. Trying to avoid a similar fate as Allo and the Sooners, who lost earlier today. A stunner. The top seed is into the losers bracket on Saturday. Odyssey Alexander and Kate Gordon, Sarah Jubas. Fantastic.
Good little drop ball. We're coming off of Montana Fouts, where we just saw rise ball for days. So to see a very effective Smitty, you pointed out, it's not just the drop that has the run. She'll also cut it a little bit too, meaning one will go to the right and down, and the other one will go to the left and down. There it is. So the pitch prior to that was a drop ball on the inside part going into the batter of Rachel Garcia. Then she comes back with the strikeout pitch, and now it's on the outer half doing the exact opposite. But as a hitter, you don't know. You see down in the zone, you think one is going to come in, the other one goes away.
Just great late, sharp movement. Just rolls off the table.
Sandercock was a recruit 3 years ago, watching Florida State win the World Series. The grounder to Muffley. After jumping for joy for her future teammates, realized there was work to be done. And she saw the performance of Megan King in the circle that weekend for Florida State and talked a lot with head coach Lonnie Alameda. I want that. I want to be one of the greats. I want to be one of the best. How do I do it? And has worked her tail off to get this chance. Maya Brady's first at-bat. She's hit a couple of home runs already in the NCAA tournament. Out of Thousand Oaks, California, the freshman. Number 2 recruit in the country coming out of high school and named to the All-America first team this year. Catherine Sandercock taking care of business. 6 up, 6 down, Cat.
Catherine Sandercock, the drop ball, not just about up in the zone. Here she goes in on the hands to get Maya Brady.
Time for a little Jessie Warren, the most outstanding player for the Noles 3 years ago. And, of course, we all remember the catch, Jess.
Yeah, it's not all about the pitching highlights, but this, to me, is one of my all-time favorites. I mean, this was like Superwoman, Wonder Woman, put on the cape, make a grab. And, by the way, it was a double play. It was such a huge moment for Florida State. The smiles, the excitement, that helped lead them to that national championship.
She knows what time it is.
All the alums we've seen from all the schools showing up. It makes me so happy because you know what it says? Credit that to Lonnie Alameda, to Mike Candrea, to Pat Murphy, to Kelly Inouye Perez. When the alums come and show up, it's because they are including them all year long.
Yeah, they're invested.
Well, and this has become home. This is the destination where everybody wants to be, where everybody wants to come back to. Got more seats now for everybody with the new upper deck. Brand new day for our family reunion. As softball comes back together, coming out of the pandemic. Missed it so much a year ago. Yeah, this is Josie Muffley. Offenses have been stymied thus far. 9 and then the top. 3 strikeouts so far for Garcia. A little shin music.
I see what you did there, Bevo. Not chin music.
Doctor of letters.
There you go.
Vines with the backhand. From her knees to first. Got her.
Yes! After seeing Jessie Warren and the diving catch, I just love the defense that you see here at Oklahoma City, because this is what gets your pitchers back. You can pitch to contact when you've got someone like Vines behind you, not only making the dive, but off the knees. And she throws it hard enough to be able to get it to first base. I mean, getting this ball is one thing, but making the out to complete it, and then, of course, what it does for your pitcher and the rest of your team.
That one will find its way back up the middle. And the base hit for Mudge. Second time she's been aboard tonight. 1 down. Well, the Women's College World Series, all building towards the best of 3 champ series, which gets underway Monday with game 1. Our coverage will start at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Go to NCAA.com. It's the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Remember, too, with some of the NBA playoffs winding down, tomorrow night's games, originally scheduled for ESPNU, will now be moving to ESPN2. For winner's bracket Friday night, you win tomorrow, you are into the semifinals on Sunday. If you lose today, you have a 7% chance to win the championship. Florida State is one of just 3 teams in 40 years to pull that off. UCLA also pulled off that feat in 2003.
Look how far Sydney Sherrill is off of home plate. She is at least a good foot off the inside corner. Garcia starts her out, then challenges her right back underneath the hands. A lot of pitchers will not do that. You have to defer to the batter, not the plate. Comes right back in there.
Boy, and what that does as a hitter is it gets your body moving too quick. You start opening up your hips, you start flying your front half. If you get in their head, you get in that kitchen, and then now you're susceptible to the off speed and anything outside.
Full count. Mudge will move over to second.
Garcia with the rise ball, just really challenging Sydney Sherrill right down the dish.
Runner in scoring position with 2 outs here for Kaylee Harding. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, you were talking about the crowd and the alumni coming to support, and really it's only been almost 2 weeks that they announced that this would be at 100% capacity for this World Series after we've gone through COVID this year. And I've got some good news that attendance tomorrow night, Friday night, and Saturday night, this will be sold out. The upper deck, new 5,000 extra seats that's going to be packed.
Great news indeed, Holly, up to 12,500 in attendance. Including Oklahoma State. There might be an orange shirt or two in the crowd, Michelle, your alma mater.
Pokes showing up. Kenny Gajewski and company.
I'm now being told they found a few extra seats. 12,800. Nice.
Yes, I see some spots. They
You
can
guys are
sneak
gonna
in.
you guys are gonna have to move over.
Bring them.
Put a few more up here.
I love it. I love it.
Beautifully renovated stadium. First time we're here. Supposed to open it up last year. It's the 1-2 from Garcia. Vines. To the bottom of the third. Anna with some good glove work. Still scoreless. Opening day at the Women's College World Series. Big upset already. James Madison beating the top seed Oklahoma. Then Cheyenne Factor a 2-run home run leading Oklahoma State over Georgia by a run. Couple of nail biters this afternoon. Bailey Hemphill went yard. And Montana Fouts spectacular 16 strikeout performance to match her career high in a 5-1 win for the Tide. So tomorrow night, JMU and the Pokes. Alabama faces the winner of this one as we are scoreless into the bottom of the third. Want to try and avoid that elimination round on Saturday. If you lose today, you must win twice Saturday and twice Sunday to reach the championship series. The ideal path is a win today, a win tomorrow night, and a win on Sunday afternoon to get into the champ series. Much more direct path. Beth Mowens and our Olympic gold medalists, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, our Hall of Fame stadium reporter, Holly Rowe, with us tonight. This is Kinsley, Washington. We had not had a walk-off in 27 years to win a national championship until Kinsley did it. Scoring Jackie Prober from second base with a single in the bottom of the 7th to beat Oklahoma. Junior out of Whittier, California. Sandercock throwing some heat.
She's got that great velocity down in the lower half of the zone with the drop, but she can also bring it up at your eyes with the rise ball just when she gets you looking low, She buzzes the tower.
Pretty sneaky.
Yeah.
This cat, Sandercock.
Well, especially when you get used to, as a hitter, looking down in the zone. That rise ball can really jump up at you, especially with the velocity.
Here's the 1-2. She is in a groove right now. How about an update right now from Holly Rowe?
Well, we're seeing some great pitching performances here today, but I think it's a little unfair because Catherine Sandercock has an unfair advantage. Look at the pitching building. They just call it the building. It gets a little cold in McLean, Virginia, where she's from. And so Dad, Colin, and she had talked about putting something in the backyard. This is not their house. This is the pitching zone. I mean, I was so impressed with this. I really studied the construction on this. It even had skylights. Like, I just have to get in that building at one point because I want to know what's in there and how great she's become as a pitcher because of the investment her family and her father have made into her career.
How about Colin, her dad, with the catch? I mean, that just warms my heart. I mean, anyone, even back in the day when I pitched, I think we can all relate to dads on a bucket catching all of us.
I believe it was on an old Jenny Finch pitch mat, and Dad Colin was on the bucket in full gear as her catcher. And Colin, I would propose calling it the drop house or the drop zone. What do you think, Smitty? The drop zone.
I like it.
Let's get that sign on the outside of the building.
And she said they called it the building.
Yeah, the drop zone, I'm thinking.
We gotta get some creativity.
Are you guys really not going to tell the story about when Dad fell off the bucket?
bucket?
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
I kept the door open.
Threw a cutter.
Team player. It was a cutter that knocked him on
Yeah.
off the bucket onto his can.
One of those dropping pitches that just, boom, pulled Dad off the bucket.
Well, I think there's a point. You catch your daughter, then all of a sudden she starts throwing it harder and harder and harder.
I think that's a bruise you like to get. Yeah, that's a proud moment for Pop. One-two to Alyssa Garcia. Another one for Sandercock. That's 5 and all smiles. 3 straight.
This is that drop that has that cut action that can knock Dad Colin off the bucket. This is the pitch right there, in on the hands. Alyssa Garcia, you take a look at how that pitch starts as a strike and then not only drops, but again, has a little bit of that movement to the left and down.
Anna Vines, who just had the web gem in the top half of the inning, trying to turn the order over here with 2 outs. Out of Temecula, California. Ball. When you've got the best talent hotbeds in the world right outside your back door, Kelly I and her staff don't have to travel too far. Just about everybody in their rotation in the lineup tonight, all Californians. We're going to hear from Kelly I coming up. Not just coaching up these Bruins, but keeping an eye on the baseball team as well, right, Jess?
Yep. Son Mikey Perez, standout shortstop for the Bruins, begin their road to hopefully Omaha tomorrow.
Does that run through Stanford?
It will if they win this weekend.
Okay. And Vines able to lug it out. Ball got stuck in Muffley's glove. And a 2-out base runner to the top of the order.
Anna Vines with so much speed. Muffley coming across the infield right there, just that little bobble. That's all it takes when you're getting down the line in 2.5 or less. No time for a bobble.
Got to bring up Bubba Nichols. Grounded to third. Back in the first inning. Ball. Her 13th career game at the Women's College World Series for the Bruins. Has hit 4 home runs here. 1-2 pitch.
Bubba Nichols, a lot of times when you're facing a great drop ball pitcher, you move around in the batter's box. Bubba Nichols normally right in the middle of the batter's box, but against Sandercock, she's got that right foot right on the line. The idea is to try to let that ball travel as much as possible. It's going to be a ball, you will see it.
Oh, took a little off that one and just got the end of the bat on it.
Great rotation. Oh, just nicked it. Really good pitch. Look at the way it's diving
How
down.
did she nick that?
I think it was the very front of the bat.
I know, like it looked like she missed it. I mean,
Oh, he's trying to sneak the change by.
practically did.
Yeah.
Bubba Nichols lives to see another pitch. I always like moving the back of the box against like the Cat Osterman's great drop ball pitchers, just because you didn't want to swing at the pitch that was a ball. You didn't want to be deceived. Get as back as far as you can. Ball, and then you take. Doesn't always work, but it does give you, think about it, if you're middle of the box, it gives you an extra 2 feet of allowing yourself to see where that ball is headed before you commit.
Read the spin idea.
She's as far back as you can get.
Right back to Cat. Side retired. 3 complete. Pitcher's duel going on tonight.
I'm feeling good. So good. I just thought you should know.
Because you got cheesecake and you got ice cream. So when you put the two of those together, does that make it one thing?
I'm not even listening to you right
I
now.
know. Sonic cheesecake glass.
I'm really having an experience here.
I know.
This is
Nobody builds 5G like Verizon builds 5G. Thousands of engineers taking peak performance to a new level. That's why in parts of many major cities where people can use massive capacity, we added Verizon 5G Ultra Wideband, the fastest 5G in the world. It isn't just a step forward, it's a leap forward. Because the more you do with 5G, the more your network matters. It's us pushing us. It's Verizon versus Verizon. And who wins? You.
Folks, the world's first fully autonomous vehicle is almost at the finish line. Today, we're going to fine-tune the dynamic braking system.
Woo! What a ride. I invested in Invesco QQQ, a fund that invests in the innovators of the NASDAQ 100, like you.
You don't have to be a deep learning engineer to help make the world a smarter place.
Does this come in blue?
Become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ.
Welcome back to the Women's College World Series presented by Capital One, and we are here with UCLA Bruin coach Kelly Inouye-Perez and coach multitasking as usual. Rachel Garcia, they started to make some really good contact with her early. I love that it's so noisy right now. I cannot hear anything. I can't even hear myself speak. They made contact with her early. How does she have to kind of tighten things up and improve?
You know, I don't think it's a matter of doing anything different. They are shortening up their swings. They're just putting the balls in place. So she's got to pitch. She's got to come up with good pitches. Our defense, you know, we're 9-on-1. We've got to make plays because they're shortening up and just literally, like you said, making contact. So once again, defense has got to have her back.
Beautiful. For your hitters, though, Sandercock has been really dealing. What is she throwing that's giving you guys trouble that you can do a better job with?
Well, we know she has an effective drop, and she has a backdoor curve. But, you know, right now, I mean, we're coming out swinging. It's game one. We're a little, you know, fired up here. So I got to slow them down. We got to let the ball travel, be able to start putting the barrel behind it. Because right now, clearly, you know, we got a lot of swing and misses, and that can't happen.
I was just going to say, you've had limited fans. This must seem crazy to you right now.
This is the first time ever that we've been at full capacity, so it's kind of exciting. It's good energy. You know, we're going to let them be our 10th man today.
All right. They're yelling, "Go Kelly, go Kelly."
I thought I heard a few go Hollies in there as well.
Yeah.
She has her own rooting section everywhere she goes. Pretty good numbers, as you see right there, for Sandercock and Garcia. Just 4 hits and no serious threats of yet. 9 combined strikeouts, both efficient with their throws. Top of the 4th. 4, 5, 6 coming up. Here's Lizzie Mason. Could hear the umpire calling that ball. That was inside. Tom Meyer, Chris Neighbors, Liz Hammerschmidt, Scott Tomlinson. Congratulations to all of them. Great years, earning their way to the Women's College World Series. Working the plate and the bases tonight. Lizzie struck out looking back in the 2nd.
That's the pitch she struck out on, his curveball in the outside corner, just painting it after coming up underneath her hands. So Garcia falls behind the 2-0 and then comes promptly back with a rise underneath the hands for a strike and runs the curve away.
Strike 3, 1 down.
And that, not only is she mixing velocities, she's mixing location. So look at this curveball in the outside corner, perfect. Good run on that pitch, and then look at this. She turns it over. Look at the way that ball is tumbling as it comes in. It comes up and just dives down. Look at that rotation. The quicker a ball spins, the faster it looks like it's coming. Hard to identify, and it freezes Lizzie Mason.
Second time she got her looking. Here's Cassidy Davis, singled in the 2nd. The Mavs took a 3-2 series lead last night, so Kawhi and the Clippers are in a must-win situation the rest of the way. We got Game 6 for you Friday night at 9 Eastern on ESPN. NBA Countdown will start our coverage at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Winners bracket Friday night moves to ESPN2 tomorrow night. We have coverage of every pitch for you. We will start out 7 Eastern with James Madison and Oklahoma State. First-timers James Madison. The story of opening day with their stunning upset of OU. Davis chased. 2 down.
It's a rise ball, and you can see the way that Garcia cups that pitch when she comes out and just has great snap and rotation.
Look at the vertical, I mean,
movement.
Wow. 3 feet.
Yeah. It's incredible. She throws in that sweet spot of her velocity with her spin. That's why she gets all that movement.
Well, she knows how to control it. I mean, I think that's one of the hardest things. Hitter, pitcher, doesn't matter. When you get big stages, your adrenaline, your heart's beating, and hers is, but she knows how to control it. Granted, she's had a ton of experience in this realm, but still, it is not easy. She makes it look easy to not overthrow. I see a lot of pitchers overthrow on day 1.
run to Flaherty. Lonnie Alameda hoping for some base runners over there in the first base box. We'll talk with her coming up, Holly Rowe. We'll have a chat.
I love that Garcia shook off. You don't see that very often. They go to the wristband, they just pitch. She shook off the last pitch. She wanted to throw her rise ball. I love seeing that because, I mean, I don't know, I'm old school. I have such a hard time of just the look in the dugout. This is the pitch I'm throwing. Here we go. And a lot of times, you know, the dugout knows. They've got the research, they don't know the work. But to see a pitcher own what they want and say, no, I'm feeling this. I see her crowding me. I'm going to back her off. I like seeing that. It's okay to say no. Just don't give up a home run because you won't be able to do it again.
1-2. Have a jammer. Vines bobbles. Safe at first is Flaherty. Second time Devin's been aboard.
Flaherty just battling, pitch on the inside corner and gets enough barrel on it. Vines, good job going back up the middle, but just that little bobble. Even if this was clean, Flaherty's very quick. I don't think she would have had her.
Yeah, they do score that a single.
Yeah, I think that's a single because of Flaherty's speed. She's got 18 stolen bases. I think they need to run her in this situation.
How about a perfect 18 for 18? Yeah. Alyssa Garcia does have a throw out. Kaylee Mudge was caught stealing back in the first. This is Danny Morgan singled in the second, so stolen base and a single, get a run up on the board.
Or it could be a hit and run on a 2-0 count.
Yeah.
2 outs. Get him going. That's what Lonnie needs, she said. You got to stir the pot.
Another fifth-year player with championship experience. There it goes. 19 for 19 on the year.
When they had her thrown out, Alyssa Garcia, the throw beat her. The ball was dropped. Devin Flaherty gets a good jump. She's got the speed. Just unable to hang on. Brie Perez. You see if she catches it right there. She would have tagged her. Garcia saying it's my bad. Throw that was hard to handle for Perez. 108 stolen bases. Look at that stat.
Yeah, 88% success.
This is what they do.
Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, it wasn't that long ago that they led the nation in home runs. That was the identity of this Florida State team. And this year, it just hasn't been like that. So Lonnie Alameda has gone back to the drawing board. She's like, at one point in the season, we just went back and looked at everything we were doing because it wasn't working. And we decided to change practice. We went to more situational hitting, more bunts, more squeezes, and more stolen bases. They knew they had to be different this year, and that is an exact product of what you're seeing right now.
And a ball 4, so 2 on with 2 outs. And it started right at the top, Holly. Lonnie Alameda said, hey, if we want the players to make a change, we should make a change as well. So Troy Cameron went out to coach third base. Travis Watson went into the dugout. So they got different eyes, different conversations going on in the dugout with the hitters coming up.
Well, it was accountability from the coaches. They're like, we're asking you to change, we're going to change.
Anna Shellnut fouls one out of play. Knowles had a couple on in the second, could not get anybody home.
When teams are always trying stuff, I remember playing Japan, Smitty, and you just were always on edge because you knew they could do anything at any point. It wasn't just about swinging the bat to score your runs. One of the things that Florida State does, it's not just the straight steal, but watch Watch Flaherty at second base and watch her read down angle. Meaning if Rachel Garcia, she sees it out of her hand go down, as soon as it hits the dirt, she's gone. It's like a delayed steal. And that's the best angle. You see Flaherty right behind her because you have the perfect look into home plate.
0-2 pitch. They need something big to change because with Shelnut and then Muffley, neither one has been swinging a healthy bat in the NCAA tournament. So they are looking for that clutch. They are looking for that timely. They are a combined 2 for 26. But as Elizabeth Mason reminded us in the conversation, their mindset right now, all it takes is one hit, one big swing, and we'll run with it. UCLA back-to-back strikeouts in the Supers against Virginia Tech. You got to go back over 17 innings since game 1 of the Supers with the Hokies. Since a run has come home. Shelnut goes down swinging. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Garcia, 7 on the night.
Rachel Garcia, one of the best in the game, using that curveball on the outside corner. The 2-time player of the year, showing why she is with that curve and the big strikeout.
Welcome back to the Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Here with the Florida State coach, Lonnie Alameda. And Lonnie, Sandra Koch is in the circle and she is dealing. What are you seeing from her tonight in her first World Series appearance?
Just confident, having fun, pretty loose. Infield, eyeing her up, you know, just having some fun.
Tell me a little bit about what your hitting strategy is right now, because you've put some good contact on, you've had base runners on, but how can you get the payoff?
Yeah, I mean, in situational hitting, I mean, Garcia's bringing it pretty darn good. That's what she does. And so, you know, like I said, you got to kind of wear her down, see if you can get some quality at-bats, you know, and keep getting the pitch count up and see if someone can get one.
How fun is it to have all these alumni? Half your national championship team is in the stands.
I mean, right away when, you know, we're coming to the World Series, so many text messages like, we're coming, we booked our flights, we're coming. It's just such a special moment. It's cool.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
There are a lot of the alums. Jesse Warren, Megan King among them. Having a good time tonight at Hall of Fame Stadium. Opening night. Beth Mowens, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, Holly Rowe. Winners got Alabama tomorrow night. Crimson Tide, terrific performance from Montana Fouts in the circle. And Catherine Sandercock, with Fouts going upstairs, she's going downstairs. Lined out to left, and Mudge is there.
Going downstairs with a beautiful drop ball, and she's got 2 pitches in one for you, Beth Mowens. Catherine Sandercock, what she's able to do, watch this pitch break down and to the right. That's her drop ball. She'll also throw it away to righties. It'll still come back over that plate, that same angle, but this is the mix-up. Watch it go to the left. Same location, same spot, but I'm not breaking right. I'm going left. 2 drop balls, doing 2 different things. It's just mean.
She has allowed the Pac-12 champs just 1 hit, 1 base runner, and that's the number 9 hitter, Anna Vines, in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, and I think if Muffley, the shortstop, fields that cleanly, doesn't bobble it, there's a good chance may have had her out.
17 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings for Kat Sandercock. And has given just the 4 hits over that stretch as well. Here's Aaliyah Jordan, grounded out in the 1st.
When you look at Sandercock's ability to move the ball through the zone, it's also the fact that she works from ahead quite often. A whip, a .77 whip. So just efficient.
That's walks and hits per innings pitched.
Yep, exactly. Not a lot of them. She doesn't give up a lot of them.
The non-nerds out there.
Starting to see some more analytics creep into the women's game, like we see in baseball.
I can't wait till we get the cameras, even if it's just here at the Women's College World Series. Well, we have enough cameras. I love them here for ESPN, but have
42.
them at stadiums
42.
where we can measure exit velocity, spin rates. Can you imagine the spin rates that we'd see on Montana Fouts and Catherine Sandercock, Rachel Garcia, who's up to bat right now, but when she's in the circle, I get geeked up. Don't get me started on all the cool numbers we can have in softball.
There's Garcia. Funny you should use that phrase, because that's the same one Lonnie Alameda talked about yesterday when we spoke to her. Get geeked up about the numbers, find the analytics that can help you help your team, and then make it as simple as possible to explain to them, to teach to them, and how to utilize it.
Well, they do things like measure and set goals. Like, we want 70% first pitch strikes. And so then they come together, and instead of just saying, hey, we want first pitch strikes, they can say, hey, that last game, we were at 58%. What are we doing? What do we need to change? Make that conversation. The numbers show you what you're doing.
Yeah, and they have a checklist. They check things off after the game, as you were saying, Jess. They extra base hits. They want to make sure that, because their batting has struggled a little bit, only a 262 average coming in, but when they do hit with power, have the extra base hits, doubles,
a new
quality
stat.
at bats. Yeah.
See the walk from Rachel Garcia. A new stat that they have is QPA, quality plate appearance. That was one for Rachel Garcia on the flip side, but it's that it isn't always the big hit. You hit a ground ball to the right side and move a runner. Hit a ball hard, but it gets caught, like we saw Brie Perez to start this inning.
Yeah.
First walk issued. You almost steered us towards Babbitt right there.
now we're going down a rabbit hole.
Tomorrow.
Batting average, balls in play.
Delaney Wiz grounded out to short in the second. Swing at that first pitch. Backhanded in the flip. Flaherty to Muffley. No damage done for complete. Scoreless. Beautiful night in Oklahoma City, from downtown out to Hall of Fame Stadium, about 70 degrees. Gorgeous afternoon, and now into the evening. Top five scoreless. Rachel Garcia and Kat Sandercock are dealing.
Rachel Garcia with all the different tools, the curveball on the corner, it's her rise ball that can hop. And it's her delivery. She's so deceptive and quick. That ball getting there in less than 0.3 of a second. She can throw change-ups. Just so many different tools to throw to all quadrants to keep you guessing. That's why she's been the player of the year in 18 and 19. The senior is just outstanding, looking to represent Team USA in the Olympics in Tokyo.
Bubba Nichols in center field, her teammate, U.S. Olympic team. The Olympic team's in the house. They're playing here, Hall of Fame Stadium, tomorrow morning.
They're actually playing up at Oklahoma State in Stillwater against the USSSA Pride.
Played yesterday, yeah.
Ken Erickson and company. He was saying he's excited to have Bubba back. Bubba Nichols, that is, back in the lineup. Yeah.
Everybody's getting the signs from the dugout. I love it though, because I mean, I remember being in center field and you're trying to see the signs, but you can't, so then you try to get them from your middle infielders. They're telling you in or away. I remember Tasha Watley at shortstop, a fellow Bruin, would give me the cheat signs, the cheat sheet, and this is where the ball's coming in your reads. There's so much you can just anticipate, you know, off speed, this is inner hash, you might get jammed. Now they just get it straight from the dugout on their cheat sheet on the arm.
2-2.
Muffley, and then the top of the order. Devines. One down.
Seen a lot of good defense, both sides, but I like to recognize that it's not just the pitcher that should get the credit, it's actually who's behind the plate. Alyssa Garcia tonight framing. Look at where her body is located to steal strikes. So these are balls just off the plate, but you see where she is to get around it. Now this one outside, now to a righty. Because she gets outside of the ball and presents that to the umpire, she's able to get pitches that are not strikes to be called strikes. But you already have a great pitcher in Rachel Garcia, and now you're stealing strikes. That's what makes a battery. And catchers never get the love. Jen Schroeder somewhere
tonight.
Smiling.
Yes.
Stacey Newman, all the catchers
Sharon
out there.
Jones. That's right, here by our side again tonight in the booth.
Well, and any good pitcher will tell you, catchers make you great. The way they call games, the way they, as you mentioned, Jess, frame pitches, just what they can say to you to calm you down, get your head right.
No one knows the pitcher more.
Mudge will walk in a single tonight. Grounds it to Perez. 2 down.
Nobody got through the straight.
This is going to be an interesting at-bat. Sydney Sherrill struck out in her first 2 at-bats. 3rd time through the lineup now. See what adjustments are made.
One looking, one swinging.
Now she's even further off the plate than she was her last at bat.
Well, and that's why Garcia's going to go to that outside corner, because I don't think you can reach that. It's all about plate coverage.
Watch her front foot. She is stepping towards the plate. A little open right here, but when the pitch comes, she'll step across. Really the only way to even hit middle away.
Ball. Up and away from Garcia. 1 and 2.
It has to be hard, though, Smitty, to not pay attention to the batter and really take a look as you see how she comes across.
Got her again. 3rd strikeout of Sherrill. Is it Maya Brady time for the Bruins? She will lead them off in the bottom of the 5th.
Sydney Sherrill off the plate. Rachel Garcia says, I can match this. I'll throw you away. Strike 3. Sit back down.
Lots to smile about for Kat Sandercock right now. She has allowed just the 1 hit off of UCLA. And the Bruins yet to get a runner in scoring position. Could that change right here? Maya Brady to get things going. Struck out on a drop ball back in the 2nd. First team All-American as a rookie. Oh and 1. Said she likes to focus on her at-bats, not necessarily what the pitcher's perspective is. Check with Holly.
Well, Maya Brady making news this week, getting some headlines for being named an All-American as a freshman, but it was really her mother. I want to give Maureen Brady a shout out because she's the GOAT of this family. When she was in high school, she was the very first Brady to garner any headlines. She was 111-10 as a high school pitcher at San Mateo with 29 no-hitters. Shout out, Mom. Maureen Brady, you're the GOAT.
Well, unfortunately, daughter Maya on the wrong end of that strikeout. One down. Trying to pass on some knowledge to her teammates there about what Kat's throwing.
Kelly Inouye Perez. I love those moments. In-game coaching.
It's the 6th strikeout for Kat. She's gotten Maya twice. There's Kinsley Washington, strikeout victim in the 3rd. Boy, what a treat it must have been for her to walk back into this ball yard after the walk-off RBI single to beat Oklahoma for the national championship in the championship series last year, game 2. Chopped to second, bobbled, and Kinsley will not only beat it out, but move on over to second and dive in safe. And there is the first runner in scoring position.
This ball just scorched that Flattery at second base going into that hole, and it just pops out of the glove. Really good recovery, but then the throw down in the dirt to Lizzie Mason. She can't scoop it. And this ball, you could just see off the glove, and then Washington immediately going to advance to second. First runner in scoring position for UCLA.
A single, and then E4 charged to Flaherty. Looks like the Bruins will bring up a pinch hitter to hit here for Alyssa Garcia. Julie Rodriguez, the lefty, will step in, senior from New Jersey. .217 on the season, 6 runs batted in. In our first game tonight, we saw Abby Dorr of Alabama hit a pinch hit 2-run home run for the Tide in their 5-1 win over Arizona. Got the go-ahead run out at second with 1 out. To Rodriguez. Skies it. Sherrill calling for it. 2 down. Number 9 hitter Anna Vines. Anna had the single back in the 3rd. They were only hit prior to Washington's single here. Tonight on SportsCenter with SVP, they'll have all the top moments and reaction from Oklahoma City. Also, Lakers and Blazers facing elimination. Is this the end for LeBron and Dame Lillard? And then Barry Melrose will join SVP. Bruins, Islanders, Hurricanes, Lightning. Game 3s of the Stanley Cup playoffs going on as well. All on SportsCenter with SVP after our game tonight on ESPN. Some of the Bruin alums having some fun.
I don't think we sat down all game.
Been waiting 2 years to celebrate the World Series again. So here comes Vines.
Vines is one of the better defensive plays we've seen opening day. With 4 games, the dive up the middle, throw off the knee.
Swinging away, 1-1.
That's a great challenge underneath the hands.
Back up the middle, backhanded by Flaherty. It's a foot race and Vines will win it. There's going to be at the plate, not in time, and UCLA scores as Vines drives in Washington.
Just amazing aggressive base running. We seen it on the flip side with Florida State. We actually saw it in the earlier game with Alabama, the risk-taking of scoring on a play that's still in the infield. Devin Flaherty does a nice job at second base of getting to this ball, but once she got to it, no chance. You got to be holding up your arms. Do not throw. Why? Because once that throw was made over to first base, you have the challenge now, the speed of Washington. She does not even slow down. Not a perfect throw. If it was, they might have had her. But again, back to Flaherty. Great job getting it. You got to hold on to the ball when you have an aggressive team with speed in UCLA.
How about the 9-hitter Anna Vines, 2 for 2, and her first RBI of the NCAA tournament and a 1-0 lead. Back to the top and Bubba. Couple of ground outs.
And a couple throwing miscues by Florida State, but to me, the big difference maker is lower half of the lineup here. They have been hitting the ball hard at these defenders, and those throwing mistakes really coming back to haunt Florida State.
That green light was on the whole way from Kirk Walker. No doubt about sending her. The third base coach for the Bruins.
Part of why Catherine Sandercock throws so well is she does trust her defense. She gets a lot of ground balls. The effectiveness of a drop ball is that. She needs to know that her defense has got her back.
Ronnie Alameda was telling Holly Rowe just that in their interview a few moments ago. Flaherty is able to make that play, but a run in for the Bruins here in the bottom of the 5th.
Kinsley Washington coming around from second base. The nice little slide of the left hand. She's safe, and Anna Vines is pumped.
The NCAA Women's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Hall of Fame Stadium here in Oklahoma City. Our final game of opening day. Double elimination format building over the weekend towards the Champ Series, which gets underway Monday night. Best of 3, 2 out of 3. UCLA beat Oklahoma in the Champ Series in 2019 for their 12th national title. Harding with the pop-up. Marie Perez has it one down. UCLA taking the lead with a run in the bottom of the 5th inning. And now they will turn to Rachel Garcia. Lizzie Mason, the number 4 hitter, has struck out looking twice. Foul.
Another great grab. We've seen, I think we're like 4 for 4 on foul ball catches. That was a softball player. Yeah,
Ooh,
no gloves. The visor. The visor totally helped. That is so cool. Oh, that just made, she's going to remember that.
Souvenir.
So cool. Oh, look at that smile.
Garcia nibbles at the outside corner, 0-2.
Boy, Garcia has just attacked Mason. She has gone right at her every at-bat.
She remembers.
Oh, yeah.
That home run
She remembers.
2 years ago here in Oklahoma City.
Mason, and that one will sneak through. One out base runner. Tying run is aboard.
Well, this is a rare mistake. Ball showing up a little bit too sweet to the zone, and Mason just gets on top of it, drives it through the 5-6 hole. 0-2 pitch. Typically Garcia will waste one or make sure something's unhittable.
Lizzie Mason 16 for 16 swiping bases this year. They've got one stolen base. They've been caught once.
I don't think you go here unless you have 2 outs. We've seen the arm of Alyssa Garcia behind the plate. She's thrown out a runner. The second one, actually, the throw beat the runner.
Cassidy Davis 9 home runs, so give her a chance. Oh, 2 to Davis. Missed it in. Two.
Right side back deep for UCLA. Vines in Washington, well behind the bag.
Garcia trying to sell that behind the plate. A pitch that both the Garcias want. See the location of this, but like we've been saying, look at what Garcia sets this up. It's a ball. But where she catches it, presents it, and then she kind of holds it there, which umpires hate. I mean, that's a foot inside, and she's selling that. I know you love that as a pitcher. I hate that as a hitter.
3 straight balls. Runner was going. Fouled off by Davis. Runner goes again, the strikeout, and safe at second is Mason. 2 down as Rachel Garcia picks up the 100th strikeout of her World Series career. Mason moves to second.
And she does it on a changeup, really good pitch on the outside part of the plate with, on a full 2 count. It looks like Mason is off a little bit early. She doesn't get called for it. But running on the changeup, she got a little bit of a lead as well.
Big break for Florida State. She should have been called out. Now the tying run is in scoring position. Devin Flaherty, who had the error in the bottom half of the fifth and a chance at redemption here. She's reached twice on a fielder's choice and a single. That strikeout, by the way, number 9 now for Garcia.
Florida State's kept the pressure on. Only one inning has Rachel Garcia retired the Noles in order, and that was the 5th, last inning. Haven't been able to get the timely hit, but they've been getting on base, trying to cause some havoc.
Left 2 on in the second, 2 on in the 4th. They do not have a hit with a runner in scoring position tonight, 0 for 3.
Sorry, Lisa Fernandez has left the circle twice, had to come back. Like, oh, one more thing. Oh, one more thing. I mean, that's an image, too. I mean, a photo of that, one of the greatest of all, well, the greatest of all time, Lisa Fernandez, talking to what we will remember is one of the greatest, and Rachel Garcia. Those conversations. Apparently, she couldn't even get away. She had to go back. Tell her more.
Flaherty with Lizzie Mason, the tying run, out at second. Two down here in the 6th, so just 4 outs to work with.
Stolen base.
No, it's foul ball. She's got her head back.
She was stealing, though. Was she going on? Yeah,
it looked like she was going.
Yeah.
Well, that's a foot race between Bree Perez, the shortstop, who is up the middle.
Just nick the bat? No. We've seen a few of those that might not. I think it nicks it.
Yep. One and 2. Flaherty fouls one off. Struck her out. Mason stranded at second, 1-0 UCLA.
Rachel Garcia continues to dominate in the circle. It's the rise ball up in the zone, working out of the jam. Garcia showing why she's one of the best.
In the 5th inning with a runner out at second. Look at him wave it in, Kinsley Washington, and she will beat the throw to the plate, scoring from second on an infield hit. 1-0 Bruins as we move to the bottom of the 6th. Aggressive on the base paths, and that's been the difference. Here's the significance. 86% of the champs have started out 2-0. 79% of the teams that reached the finals have started out 2-0 with a win tonight and a win tomorrow night. Winner of this one will face Alabama. The other winners bracket matchup, JMU and Oklahoma State. Bree Perez retired at first.
Too good of a bunt. I mean, the art of bunting is to deaden it. And she put it an inch in front of home plate. Made an easy out for Anna Shelnut.
2, 3, and 4. So Aaliyah Jordan followed by Rachel Garcia. Anna Vines had the RBI single in that 5th. She's got 2 of their 3 hits in the 9 spot in the lineup.
Change up. Sandercock, I haven't seen a lot of that.
Respect for the power.
Dealing with Garcia toe-to-toe tonight. She's got 6 strikeouts.
Leah Jordan has so much power. One of the things she kind of does when she gets in the batter's box that's uncharacteristic is that back toe is almost pointed at the pitcher. It's like she's already got her hips, that back hip where she needs it to be, because she's so strong with her upper body. A lot of times, I mean, you need that foot to be able to turn, pivot, do all the things it needs to do to create that power. She's just so strong. She eliminates the one thing that makes her weak by pointing that back toe towards the pitcher. She's still got all the power in the world.
Low and in, 2-2.
Sandercock came back with that changeup again, Jess.
Yeah, that's a Jordan special. Clearly, we haven't seen it much this game at all, and Aaliyah Jordan gets the specialty of see a whole lot of off speed.
Rips that one out to right. Hard hit ball off the bat of Aaliyah Jordan.
This is why I want exit velocity. I mean, that is like 100 miles an hour off the bat of Aaliyah Jordan. Talk about her positioning with that foot. I mean, honestly, she could be on her knees. Like, she could be. She's so strong. Takes an inside drop ball. We've seen so much swing and miss with this pitch. No stride. Just needs her hands. Drives that, crushes it.
Lifted for the pinch runner. She can re-enter. Lauren Carter is in. Looking for a little insurance before the Seminoles come up for their what could be their last at-bat in the top of the 7th. Garcia chops it to Sherrill. Charges, fires to first. 2 down. Carter over to second.
Productive out. Gotta have him.
QPA. Quality plate appearance.
Delaney Wiz. Well, they are definitely coming to the plate with intent here, swinging at the first pitch. Following in the footsteps of her sister Stevie. Transferred in. Stevie, a member of that 2019 championship squad. Delaney started out at Loyola Marymount, now in her 2nd year in Westwood. Fouls that one back. May recall Stevie's inspirational story, fighting through a lot of heart procedures. She is doing all right, dancing in the front row, supporting her sister. waits on the off speed, and that's going to score another run. Delaney Wiz delivers, and Carter makes it 2-0.
And this is another changeup that just hangs through the zone, and Delaney Wiz just barrels this up. Great timing, stays back on it, and puts it in the gap. And her sister Stevie is loving it. Biggest cheerleader in the group for her sis.
Right next to Brie Perez's sister, I believe, Kylie there. Truly is a family affair for the Bruins. A lot of sisters through the years, and it looks like a pitching change coming up here for Florida State, as they will go to Danielle Watson when we come back. 5 2/3 innings of work for Catherine Sandercock. The 5 hits, the 1 earned run. And Delaney Wiz, her responsibility out at second base. The RBI double to score the pinch runner Lauren Carter after Aaliyah Jordan singled earlier in the inning. A run in the 5th, 1 more in the 6th, and here is Danielle Watson on in relief. Transfer from Louisville, didn't play last year, and has come on as a really good performer for the Noles. A couple of relief appearances in the postseason, couple of wins, and she will start right out with Maya Brady, who is happy that Sandercock is gone. She struck out twice against her. And Maya Brady sends it out. 2-run home run, UCLA. She certainly was happy to see a new pitcher.
We've seen some home runs already today. None have been hit like this. I mean, not only is it hit far, it is hit high. You see the location, low and away. Maya Brady does a great job with her back leg to get underneath a low pitch, get herself a Tootsie Roll. Look at the grin. That's a Frosty right there. First World Series home run.
What she and the Bruins hope will be the first of many. Her 3rd home run of the NCAA tournament. Greeting the new pitcher with a 2-run shot and a 4-0 lead. And that will drop in for a base hit. Kinsley Washington. That's the 4th hit of the inning. Holly Rowe.
I was speaking with UCLA coach Kelly Noy-Perez this week about Maya Brady's swing, and she said the only person I've ever see swing like that is Stacey Newman, and my jaw dropped that she is comparing Maya Brady's swing to one of the greatest to ever swing a bat. And I said, are you serious right now as a freshman? And she said, absolutely. That is the kind of bat she's swinging right now. High praise.
Of course, Stacey Newman, she of the 90 career home runs, All-America honors, a 400 hitter, and then went on to glory with the United States Olympic team.
I just love the facial reactions of Maya. I think if you timed her going around the bases, I mean,
about 12 seconds.
She
Full
ran
sprint.
so fast, the biggest grin.
Got to have a short memory in this game, right? Strikeout, bomb.
I'm shocked that they didn't have Sandercock continue to throw to her just because of how well they had done, she had done.
There's a ball hit out to right. Harding has the room, but 3 runs in the inning. And a shot from Maya.
Maya Brady go down and get it. Send this one into the night for a good night. And the freshmen and the Bruins up 4-0, hit it to the top of the 7th inning.
Oh, that's the look of a confident hitter right there who's just smacked a 2-run tater, her first World Series home run. Looking at the big board right now, watching some of the UCLA fans celebrate. How about the attendance to see Maya's home run? You know, you go back to 1992, we're talking total for the entire World Series, under 14,000. And just today in our 2 sessions with our brand new upper decks, nearly 22,000 through the turnstiles as we open back up to 100% capacity. And the addition of that upper deck.
Sold out the next 2 nights. This place is gonna be rocking.
As it stands right now, it's James Madison, Oklahoma State, and UCLA, Alabama. One last chance, though, for the Noles to crash that party. Otherwise, they will have the day off tomorrow and will play on elimination Saturday against the Arizona Wildcats. Ten strikeouts on the night for Rachel. Snagged at third, 1 down. Delaney Wiz.
She's having a night. Big hit with the bat. Went and got a hop that is not easy. You see that bobbled more times than not. This is the defense that UCLA has shown all season long. Smitty, you mentioned it earlier, the 5 errors last weekend, just uncharacteristic. And honestly, even the slow offense this game, feels like this team was kind of in a bit of a slump, just not their usual selves, in a big breakout inning, bottom half of the 6th. Now it just seems like everything's rolling for the Bruins.
Carson Sabi is the pinch hitter here. She'll bat for Anna Shellnut. Freshman out of Monument, Colorado. Seventh AB of the year. Has a couple of hits. One of those as a pinch hitter. Florida State has been in the World Series 11 times. They have only won their opener twice in the first 10 trips, and of course famously lost their opener in 2018 and then won 6 in a row to win the national championship.
Playing a lot of softball to do it, so
yeah.
You get on a roll and it's like, I mean, you're barely sleeping, you're on adrenaline. And as you keep winning, you're really feeling yourself. You're like, we got this. Backs against the wall.
And Saturday's always interesting because you know you're playing 2 different opponents. You get to Sunday, then you got to beat the same team twice. And it's typically the team that put you in the loser's bracket. So it's always interesting.
Yeah, it would start with Arizona, and they are still on the same side of the bracket as Alabama and UCLA. And a called strike 3. Number 11 for Garcia, down to their final out.
She's really worked this outside corner with the curveball all night long. Just so pretty. Paints the corner, lets it run.
What it looks like from the hitters. I mean, that breaking away from you, no chance.
Josie Muffley, 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs.
another frame by Alyssa Garcia. It's a ball. She gets it for a strike. We've shown the stuff of Rachel Garcia, then you get the added outliers that are also, the zone is bigger when you have Alyssa Garcia behind the plate.
Oh, 2 pitch. Bree Perez with the diving grab. Ball game, Bruins.
What a perfect way to end it. They started rolling there with their offense in the bottom of the 6th. A great play by Delaney Wiz on a ground ball to start this inning. And the UCLA Bruins, that are the defending champs, ranked number 2 seed, and then Bree Perez, just the exclamation point on the win. Full length dive to make this play. She doesn't get this, it's a base hit. That's how they end the game.
And the love from her pitcher, Rachel Garcia. Second shutout in a row for Rachel. It's the 3rd straight for UCLA. And a 4-0 win for the Bruins. Garcia, the Capital One player of the game with 11 strikeouts. Anna Vines, a big RBI single. Delaney Wiz, the RBI double. The big blow, Maya Brady, 2-run shot. And her first Women's College World Series home run, and she is with our Holly Rowe.
Well, Maya Brady, you had told me you might be nervous here in your first Women's College World Series. The first few at-bats weren't great for you. What settled in that moment?
Yeah, I think just looking at my teammates for their advice and just kind of asking everyone, because I love to get feedback from my teammates because everyone on this team is such great hitters. So I just kind of took all the bits of information from everybody, and, you know, I wasn't going to let her strike me out again. So that was just my mentality. I wasn't going to sit down one more time. So I just really wanted to get it done for Rachel because she pitched a great game.
She really did. I mean, that was a hack you put on that ball. Tell me what that felt like coming off the bat.
Yeah, it literally felt effortless. That's the best. When you just go for a ball and it just comes off, and, you know, I was so excited. I think that's the fastest I've ever run around the bases before. I wanted to get back to my team so bad because they've had my back all game. So
we may have been mocking you a little bit about that. They were mocking you how fast you sprinted. I wanted to ask you about your mom's in the stands. Your mom pitched here at the World Series. She was an All-American, and this week you're named an All-American and you get a home run in your first World Series. What is this like for this moment for you and your mom to all come full circle?
Yeah, I think we've just worked so hard our entire lives, both me and my mom sacrificing so much. So that home run was for her, and I hope that she cheered loudly because I think I had the biggest smile running around the bases, so that was definitely for my mom right there.
I can tell you this, you hit it so far. Usually they find the home run balls and bring them back to the parents.
Yeah.
They did not find yours. Maybe they will later.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maya.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, big night for Maya.
Get the stopwatch out. How fast she was once she knew it was out. And watch the grin and the go.
You're supposed to slow down, right?
She wanted to get back to her teammates and celebrate, and boy, did she. About 5.3 seconds, I think it was counting.
So we are set for our Winners Bracket Friday night. If you haven't seen Odyssey Alexander yet, check it out. And the Oklahoma State Cowgirls will have the significant home field advantage here in OKC. And then how about the slugfest tomorrow night? Dare we dream of Fouts and Garcia in the circle? It's Alabama and UCLA in the nightcap. Terrific start to our Women's College World Series. Winners bracket matchups coming for you tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Beth Mowens, Michelle Smith, Jessica Mendoza, Holly Rowe. Time to get you to SVP Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt.